Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today, 2026 Season 3 has begun. Into the Tiger's Den, I believe, is the name of the season. And with it, of course, as now is the case every season, we have our new hero, our newest damage hero, Shion. Boy, she is kind of creepy, and I think that's pretty neat. So let's jump in and take a look at her abilities, her kit. Then I'll play a couple games as her and give you my thoughts on how she feels in game and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump in.
Pain is mine to master.
Like I said, she's a little creepy. So here you can see all of her abilities. Her base health is 250, all that fun stuff. 5.5 meters per second, blah, 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 blah. Her primary fire, the Kira pistols, rapid fire anima pistols. You can see the information there. There's actually some cool stuff in the practice range that has changed that I didn't know was changing, so it'll make my job a little bit easier. But we'll look at each of those abilities here in a second. Let's just take a real quick look at her in-game model. I love the way she looks. I think she looks really, really cool. So, let's start with her primary file. Her primary fire, her Kira pistols. So, as you can see here, their base damage is 35, 10.5 meter max fall off, 20 to 30 meter fall off range. So, there you go. You can see the damage numbers now appear when you shoot. There you go. So 35 damage on a standard shot, 70 on a crit.
Quick.
Just like that. The guns, in case you are curious, they do alternate just kind of one after the other. So they'll fire a couple right, couple left, couple right, couple left. You don't have to do anything. It's just you hold down, nothing happens. It's just the way that works. Next is her right-click ability, Execution. She fires an X-shaped volley, and you can hold it to tighten its spread. You can see it there. 140 base damage, 42 max fall off. All that other information there if you're curious. So if I just right-click it, there you go. Obviously, it's not going to do as much. It's not going to be as obvious here, so I'll do it up here so you can see. That's its spread if you don't hold it down. And when I hold it down, you can see much, much, much tighter spread there. So, you know, if you're fighting a tank, you might just kind of right-click into their back just to try to get some damage off. It doesn't do more or less damage, you know, per pellet if you hold it down, but, you know, against smaller enemies, more useful to kind of hold it down to get that tighter spread, as you might expect from an ability of that kind. Her shift ability, Evade, she dashes, briefly gains overhealth. You can see there, 8 meter range, 20 meters per second, gets 75 overhealth for half a second, and then 1.2 second delay. So, you can use it. So, an example would be you're fighting a tank, oh, they got their shield up, you could just dash back and clear yourself like that. Isn't that fun? I didn't realize how far 8 meters was. I'm an American. We don't use meters. Anyway, those are the kinds of use cases that you could use, like dash behind an enemy and pop a right click into them. Like that. Fun stuff. But you don't care about any of these abilities. Everyone cares about Joyride. Rev your engine, reactivate to dismount, and launch your bike forward. We finally have a hero who gets to ride around on a bike. Kiri has been threatening until we see, wait until we see her on her bike. Tracer had the Tracer cycle. None of them can ride a bike, but now we finally have a hero that rides a bike. There's all the information if you want it. Let me show you how this works, because this is maybe the most insane thing to have in Overwatch. Ride around. You can dismount. You can hold it. You can launch it like that. Obviously, you don't have it for a very long time, so you kind of have to make your decisions quite quickly. I think it's going to be pretty good as an escape tool, maybe as an engage tool if you're kind of coming back into a fight. But the controls are a little funky. Like, it kind of feels like a Rhine charge almost, like, in terms of timing and movement. Like, it kind of moves. I don't know if it's exactly the same speed and turn like speed as Rhine charges. I don't play a ton of Rhine. Probably a little bit more sensitive. But, you know, you also, if you just keep riding, it'll just kind of shoot off on its own. It's a very interesting ability. I didn't expect us to ever really have a motorcycle in-game. And as you can see, you can jump with it. When you jump, you just have the option to launch it. You hold it down, and it'll launch. I usually hold it down fully. I don't know if you can just quick launch. We'll test that out here in a second. Do a nice little quick launch. See what happens. So yeah, it will launch. There's a little bit of a wind up, but it'll just launch it. But that's that. That's a very fun ability. And I'm sure that will be... I'm sure there's going to be so many custom games where you're just on the bike all the time, and they're going to be honestly really fun. They're going to be really, really fun. Circuit Royale racing? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want. Yeah. All right. Anyway, her final ability we have to look at is her ultimate ability, Satsuriku Spree. You rush forward 3 times in a storm of gunfire. There you can see the damage per volley between 180 and 90. 6-second max duration, a 0.4-second burst. All that stuff. So when you click her ultimate, you'll see there's 2 things you can do. You either rush burst or regular burst. So rush burst will go forward and do that. Regular burst, there you go. So you can kind of use it to engage, you know, come into the fight and do some damage that way, and then quickly follow up with more bursts. So let's just kind of do that real quick. Doing no damage. It does not have a ton of range. Did it say what the range on it was? "12 meters rush range, min-max radius 5 to 7 meters." So yeah, it's not a... It's definitely a close... It's an up-close ability for sure. It's not something that's going to have a ton of value from pretty far range, but I like it. I think it's an interesting one. I think her kit is very kind of built a lot around that. You know, it's built to get you into spots and then follow up, which is quite interesting. She is a, I think, flanker. Yes, so her health packs restore more health. So she does get quite a lot of benefits in that regard. So definitely makes sense for her abilities to kind of play around that being what her sub-role is. But the last thing we need to look at, of course, are her perks. So for her minor perks, you have Rapid Reload and Ex Machina. Rapid Reload, your evade reloads 9 ammo, and for Ex Machina, execution does 20% more damage to enemies below half health. Actually, no more information there. And then for our major perks, you have Refuel. Joyride instantly recovers 50 health and regenerates 20 health per second while active. And Faces of Death, you gain all other damage sub-roll passives, which is kind of insane. If I have to remind everyone what those do, just real quick. Damage heroes. So the sharpshooter one, critical hits reduce movement ability cooldowns, so you can be on the bike a lot more often. Recon, damaging enemies below half health reveals them. And then for specialists, you get increased reload speed when you eliminate an enemy. So you get all of those things once you get that perk. I don't think there's a world where that isn't the greatest perk of all time. I would be shocked if that perk survives a season. That seems really, really, really good. So I don't think that's going to last. But I think of these... when I'm playing a damage hero, I really like things that give me better ability to kill. So I do like Ex Machina on this one. But I also think that the ability to kind of evade and keep fighting is also pretty good as well. And probably gets more use. I don't remember which one of those has... I think evade has the... Actually, evade has the longer cooldown. But something that gives you a better ability to kill, I think is better, but it'll be interesting to kind of see where it goes
Good enough.
in the future. This, to me, there's no doubt Faces of Death is the better perk. I think Refuel is not a bad perk, but it is paired with maybe the most insane perk of all time. Right? Like, I can do a movement ability, and look at how fast I can get a movement ability back. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. And that's absurd. This is an absurd perk. Like I said, I would be shocked if this survives this season, because I mean it's crazy, and she'll be. I think if this perk stays the way that it is, she might be perma-meta, but we'll see. Let me jump into a couple games, and see how I feel about it after that. So why don't we get into that? Alright, so I've gotten a couple games in as Shion, so I can give you my opinions on her. I'm going to be kind of quick with these, just to try to not go too long and get too kind of long-winded on this. Generally speaking, I think she's pretty fun. I definitely am not even remotely good at her yet. There's a lot to her kit that I kind of need to learn and uncover kind of as you go. I think she feels like she's going to be strong. That feels pretty inevitable. She looks like she's going to be a very strong hero. Really, really good. Her right click is kind of nasty. And I think she'll be even better over time. Just like as people learn to play her, I think she's going to be really, really kind of crazy. There's a lot of really fun stuff with her. I think she is a really interesting hero. The motorcycle is really fun. I kind of compared it to Rhine. It doesn't feel like Rhine at all, kind of once you're really kind of using it and getting into game with it. She definitely feels very different. And the bike does not really have any kind of relation to the Rhine charge. So that's my kind of analysis there. But I do think she's very interesting. The mobility's kind of crazy. This game that you're seeing, I didn't get to really benefit from her final perk because we kind of rolled this game. But it's good. It's real good. I think she's gonna probably need a bit of tweaking to not feel that. I think right now she doesn't feel super oppressive in my games yet because people are still learning to play her. It's the first day. There's a lot of tech I think people are going to learn over time. But I definitely see her being a really, 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 really good hero. One of the kind of strongest heroes potentially in the game. She has a lot of that kind of going for her. She is very fun, and I think her character design is really cool, both like visually, just like her kit is really cool. There's a lot of really awesome stuff with her, so I am excited to see kind of where she goes from here and see where she plays. But I do think like there's a difference between Sierra, where by like the end of the season with Sierra, you kind of saw like her right click, the ability to just kind of, burn people down with like a soldier ult type ability on a cooldown was really kind of annoying to play against. She was kind of easy to hit shots on, and she just felt kind of annoying to play against. I don't know if Shion will have that feeling, but she definitely feels strong, and she feels like someone who, the more you play against her, you're gonna run into some games, I think, where you have a really good Shion where you just kind of can't do anything. Her ability to just escape is so kind of crazy. I like her. I like a lot about her kit. I like the way she plays, but I definitely do have some concerns, especially with the major perk. just giving her access to every damage sub-roll passive. So she has quicker reload speeds on eliminations, and her, critical hits give her movement abilities. Cooldowns are reduced, which when you have 2 cooldown abilities, that is really nice. And then also, being able to see enemies below half health when you're a flanker who can just kind of, with the execution perk, where you can do more damage to targets if they are below half health. So you can see them, they are, you can sneak around a corner, right-click them, melt them down. I think she is going to be a hero that there's going to be some kind of oppressive play at times, and I'm curious to see how they manage to balance her and keep her from being too strong. Because I think this is a hero where I see the writing on the walls of, like, this could be a really busted, really strong hero. That concerns me, but she's fun, and as long as they can keep her as fun as she is without making her so OP that she's like a permalock always broken forever, then I think she can be a pretty good hero. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on her in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever. Do you think she's going to be really, really good? Do you think she's actually not really that good? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. But that's going to be all for me for this one. Thank you all once again for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more like it in the future, consider liking and subscribing, as your support does help out a lot with the channel. But that's all for now. I hope you're all staying safe and staying healthy. And until next time, bye-bye!